At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Friday edition of Main Street TV right here on Main Street in Jackson. Jennifer is still out, so you've got me one more time today. I'm James, so I'm going to be, like I said, filling in for Jennifer today, and hopefully she will be back on Monday. After today, I don't know if I'll be back. I'm gonna be running on fumes. We got a big show today. We got Sam and Marcia here from the Jackson County Health Department. We're going to talk about General Health Month. And then later in the show, we've got the Vinton County Junior Fair Court. We've got the whole crew here. It's going to be great. And then, if there's still a little bit of time left, Pete Wilson is going to come in and talk about what it feels like to be turned into a piggy bank. Did you guys see the Pete Wilson piggy bank on the way in? Dylan, do we have Pig Wilson? So the Jackson Vinton Farm Bureau every year does this contest called Hog Wild, where they give local businesses these piggy banks and you decorate them. And me and Jennifer had this idea last year, but we didn't decorate a pig. But this year we decided to do it. And we had no other option than to make an homage to fearless leader, Telegram editor Pete Wilson, and immortalize him in pig form. And so we showed this on the show yesterday. Dylan's looking for the picture right now. Here in a second, I would like to introduce you to Pig Wilson,
Nice.
the editor of the Teleham. So this is a fundraiser with the Jackson Vinton Farm Bureau. 1 penny equals 1 vote. We've got a PayPal link on our social media account. So make a little donation to the Farm Bureau for Pig Wilson, and we sure would appreciate it. All right, so Sam, Marcia, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, pretty good.
Pretty
well.
good.
How about yourself?
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm living the dream. We had homegrown happy hour last night at Rowdy's Smokehouse.
That was good.
We had Jace Turley. This kid's 18 years old. And I'm telling you, that might be the next Tyler Childers right there.
Nice.
He is a talented young man. He's playing at a music festival in Ashland, Kentucky this fall. It's headlined by El King, who we also had at Rowdy's this week.
Nice.
So, very talented young man, just 18 years old. Pretty incredible. But that was last night, and this is this morning, and we are here to talk about social connectedness and General Health Month.
Well, that would be great for people to get out and go to these
Exactly.
things. And
That's
connect
social
socially.
connectedness,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
You go to an event like that, and even if you're going by yourself, chances are you're going to have a couple friends by the end of the night.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, social connectiveness, especially with older adults, it's, they, for different reasons, they can't get out or they don't want to get out. It might be balance issues or health issues or, they don't have a way to get out, but, they need to find ways and people need to help them find ways to get out because studies have shown that people live longer when they connect with other people. And I know we had a heart health dance in Pike County quite a few months ago. And one lady told us, she thanked us for having the dance. And she said it was the first time she had been out in 6 years since her husband had passed away. So, it's really important to get out and connect with other people. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine being in a situation like that where you had
Yeah.
a partner that you just kind of relied on for everything, and then you find yourself
Yeah.
on your own, and
Right.
and it can be really
Yeah.
difficult to get out of
Yeah.
that
Scary
situation.
and lonely.
Yeah.
And
And then that can
yeah.
lead to all kinds of other health issues, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Like those
definitely.
mental health issues could lead to physical issues.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yep.
So, I mean, you just kind of touched on this, like, why is social connectedness important? Like, it's important for all your health in general. So, what are some of the life circumstances that can affect one's social connectedness?
You want to go?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I think, like Marcia explained a minute ago, definitely the loss of a loved one, that can send anyone in pretty much a turmoil. I think just anything can kind of affect whether it's a health issue. I mean, I know my own self. Like sometimes if I get not the greatest news from the doctor, sometimes I'll just shut down for like 3 or 4 days.
Sure.
Just because you're worried about this one thing, and then you're like, well, now I have to make like a whole change or whatever. But yeah, I think that as long as we're trying to just reaching out. I mean, social media is another good way to sort of do that, but don't get too
It's
full.
also a good way to
It's
go the other way.
It really is,
Yeah.
because I mean, even my own father, he's in his late 70s, and he's having these sort of issues where he's slightly lonely because it's just him.
Mhm.
And I mean, I live about 30 minutes away from him, but he's also getting scammed. So that's another. I think I touched on that
Mhm.
maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah,
But
there
Jennifer,
are a lot of
that loneliness
phone
can lead,
scams for
Mhm.
targeting
Yeah.
older
and
people.
loneliness can lead to being scammed. And
Yeah.
so, that's why I think it's important to keep your folks socialized, because then we're not sitting there, or as an unsocialized person, just wanting that ounce of attention or that ounce of socialization.
So, what are some steps that one can take to prevent loneliness and help them stay connected?
Well, I want to plug mine here.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be doing a Tai Chi for arthritis and diabetes class
Okay.
at the Jackson Library starting toward the end of August. I believe, I don't have my date. book with
So
me.
it is
yeah,
August 2nd
22nd.
from, oh yeah, sorry,
22nd.
August 22nd
Yeah,
from 10 to 11.
yeah,
And it's every Tuesday for 16 weeks.
yeah,
And that's at the Jackson City Library.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's a very easy, it gets the blood flowing, but it's a very easy exercise. We could have people that have mobility issues, even people that's wheelchair bound can do this. And it just gets people out having fun, socializing.
So would you say that this is sort of like the silver sneakers classes that people might be familiar with?
Yeah, but it's more low key.
Okay.
It's not strenuous at all. It's the opposite.
Okay.
Like they talk about people lifting weights and building muscles. You don't have to do that.
So is this something that you can do sitting down?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
exercise, but it's like you said, it's low key exercise
Right.
that anyone can do, even if you're have trouble standing for a long
Right.
period of time.
Exactly. Yeah. I was trained through the Ohio Department of Health. And so for what I am trained for is general health, arthritis, and sitting down, so, even sometimes people in the class that I got trained for, they work for nursing homes.
Yeah.
And they can go in and, do it for people that, can't even walk.
Yeah.
So, but, it gets their blood flowing.
Mobility is important.
Yeah,
Sure.
it is. And it does help with balance, if you can stand up and do the exercises. But, it's just a social thing too, And
Another thing I see here on this list of things that you can do to kind of combat this. This is something that I've heard a lot of people talking about recently, and this is consider different housing. Because we were talking about a minute ago about someone who lost their husband and had kind of been a little lost.
Right.
A lot of people, they spend their whole lives kind of like working up to that dream home,
Yeah.
or you raise a big family and you've got this big, like 2-3 story house with like a
Right.
lot of land. And next thing you know, you find yourself an empty nester. You've
Yeah.
lost your spouse.
Yeah.
and you can't take care of that
Right.
property anymore.
Exactly.
And I think that's a situation that a lot of people
yeah.
find themselves in.
Right.
And that is, that's the house that they raised their family in. They've maybe
Yes.
maybe it's even multi-generational. Maybe it was
Right.
their parents' house.
yeah.
And that can be really hard for
Yes.
people to leave behind.
Yeah.
But the
Definitely.
reality is having a smaller space, getting rid of those stairs,
Yes.
getting rid of that big lawn that you've got to take care of.
Right.
That can be a huge
yeah.
weight off of somebody's
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah, that's always a worry. I even think about, to be able to mow the lawn and,
Mhm.
just do all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, they might want to think about an apartment or a townhouse,
Mhm. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously that's a really hard step for somebody to take, but
yeah.
it can, really
Yeah.
take a lot of that stress
Or,
off.
like if you get along with your family, I had a friend that they moved in with, with her mother, and they all had like crazy senses of humor, so they got along. But
everybody, every young adult with aging parents is like, no,
no,
don't go there, Marcia.
That's me.
I don't think I
Come
could
see you on Sunday, Dad.
Yeah.
We'll go to Bob Evans. It'll be cool. Then we'll do our own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But then a major component of this is just your general health, just
right.
basic everyday things
Yeah,
that you can do to feel better.
yeah,
Eat healthy, don't smoke cigarettes,
right.
don't drink too much.
Right.
Just basic things that just kind of
Yeah.
go to those regular doctor's appointments that nobody wants
Exactly.
to go to. I know I don't want to go to them,
Yeah.
but keeping up with that, stuff.
Stay off the addictive drugs.
Yeah, stay off the addictive
That was
drugs.
in bold print.
So in bold print on this flyer here, it says to avoid addictive drugs.
Yes.
And I do appreciate you guys for giving us this information that I personally had been confused on up until this point. But right above avoid addictive drugs is one that I is a little bit harder for me to hear, and it says avoid eating unhealthy food, avoid junk food.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the high sugar, the
Oh,
high sodium.
salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it all
Yeah.
to me.
So I hate
Mr.
to,
Twix lunch over there.
yeah. So yesterday, Dylan comes back from lunch, and I know for a fact that Dylan also did not eat breakfast because he told me that he does not like breakfast food.
I did not.
Oh my goodness.
But he comes back from lunch, and he's like, "Oh, I feel way better now that I ate." And I was like, "What'd you have to eat?" He's like, "A Twix." I was like, "You took an hour lunch break, and all you got was a Twix."
The show should just be called Pooping on Dylan. Every time
Hey,
we come here.
So I will give Dylan another shout out.
Okay.
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 So I mean, I know we rag on Dylan a lot, and deservingly so. But so last time you were here, Dylan was but an intern.
Ooh.
Dylan is now an official
Sure.
full-fledged employee
Hey.
of Total Media.
All right.
Yeah,
Level
so
up, son.
congratulations to
Yeah.
Dylan. We gave him a shout out yesterday or the day before, and I was like, if Dylan was actually on top of things, he would have that applause sound effect lined up.
Hey,
But
he's got it now.
he's got it now.
Did you say
Yeah.
you ate an apple?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did say you ate an
likes-
apple.
I did.
Right, we found out that maybe he doesn't like vegetables, but he does like apples, and so that, hey, if you don't like your green vegetables, apples are just as good.
Yeah.
Right.
Better than living on Twix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Better than
true.
Twix. Twix are
Um,
delicious, though. I mean, I get
Man,
it.
those are so good, especially when you get the fresh ones.
I wish they still had the old commercial from that. Do you remember those from when you were maybe a
I know
little
the
younger?
left and right Twix commercial.
Oh, it used to be like, oh yeah, they would do that song.
Yeah, I don't even remember
All right,
that
maybe
one.
I'm dating myself.
I don't even remember that one. But yeah, talking about avoiding high sugar and salty foods.
Yeah.
I mean, that's easier said than done, right?
Especially
Yes,
if it's a
it
salted
is.
caramel Twix. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be hard to,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe have that apple instead of that Twix.
yeah.
But also, maybe have a a sandwich or a salad or something with that Twix. Preferably a
Some
sandwich
lettuce.
that's got a couple vegetables on there. I know that's easier said than done sometimes.
I mean, sleep's another important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try not to drink too much caffeine before you go to
Mhm.
bed. That way you get a nice well rested sleep,
Yeah.
and you're not waking up every 2 to 3 hours to use the restroom. Because anybody like me, I mean, caffeine just makes me go even more.
Oh, I know. Yeah, drinking anything late. The older you get, you
Yeah.
just get like, I don't know, 7 o'clock. Just don't drink after
Way
7
more
o'clock.
sensitive to
Yeah.
things for sure.
One of my problems too is staying on the computer.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
You know, you need to turn
Yeah.
that off a couple
Well,
Or your
hours. So
yeah.
phone
I'm
right
like,
in front of your face while you're
Yeah.
trying to lay there.
Well,
I mean,
I saw somebody saying the other day that they were cutting down on their screen time on their phone by playing video games, and it's like, I mean, I
No.
get where you're coming from. You're putting away your work email and whatnot, but you're also still just
Yes.
staring at a screen for another hour or two before
Right.
bed. So you know,
Exactly.
and like me personally, like having that screen light doesn't really bother. Like I could still fall asleep just fine, but yeah, some people like it takes them an hour or two like without
Yeah.
that screen in their face.
I have to have
Yeah.
a fan
Calm down.
on, but I can't handle the light.
Oh,
It's
the little
literally
red
just
light?
it's just an LED light, right, or something that
Mhm.
it's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
this much degrees in your room, and I have to like cover it up because
Yeah.
I'm a side sleeper, and
Mhm.
so
It's just
everything's
right in your face.
right in my face.
Yeah, I will give you life hack. My girlfriend is like that too, and I had a little red light on the TV that stayed on when it was turned off, and she complained about that when we first got together. Dig in those settings. There's a way to turn that light off. It's
Yeah,
in there.
I'll
You
just
don't.
check
You
that
don't.
out.
You don't have to put tape over it. So, I mean, there's so much information here, and this is
Yeah.
obviously such a
Really.
big topic, and I hate
Yeah.
to like
No,
rush things with you guys, but we
No.
do have the Vinton County Fair Court kind of waiting in the wings. So,
Yeah.
like, what
Royalty is important.
royalty is important. Like, we have to
Yeah.
be benevolent,
Yeah.
followers, subjects. But so, is there anything else that you guys would like to share with our audience while you're here?
I think one last thing when we're talking about socialization and all these different things, Marcia pretty much had an issue with someone that was homeless here.
Yes.
Right. I'll let you like kind of tap on it, but I just thought we should tap on that here because it is
Yeah.
something that is ever looming and it's growing here in
Yeah.
Appalachia. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
and we're not being able, and as community health workers, we're having a hard time finding beds. And when you have like someone like she had to deal with who had a pet,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that is some folks' only socialization. That is their
Sure.
only like means of a friendship or
Mhm.
kinship, right? And
Right.
so to separate that would just be even more turmoil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe just getting some commissioners together to try to look at some dilapidated buildings or something. Like, what can we do to
Yeah.
Yeah.
help prevent any future homelessness? And I mean, and as you know, like when people are desperate people do desperate things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if anything, I mean, it'll even help down on certain rates of other things as well. So
Yeah. The fellow that we were trying to help, he wasn't on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
He was single, but he did have a little dog. And that's what we have found out is like to get him like into low income housing, he was on
Mhm.
disability. But, if you're only making $800 a month on disability and rent the cheapest you can get is 600,
Yeah.
you can't
Mhm.
do that. And so, and we called almost every surrounding counties trying to
Mhm.
get this man in someplace. If they had an opening, they didn't take pets,
Sure.
and that's that guy's
Mhm.
family.
Yeah.
And, Jackson, really, we don't have a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson County doesn't. We really need something. Even like I said, the low income apartments around here, it's the lowest is a 3-year wait,
Yeah.
and this guy, I mean, it was getting ready to storm. We were going to have a bad storm. And so, put him up in a hotel for a night. But, $100 a day,
Sure.
you just
Adds
can't
up
afford
really
that.
fast.
Yeah. So we're sort of trying to
Yeah.
plant that seed that,
Mm-hmm.
we need to get
Yeah.
something around here because, they have shelters for people that, do have substance abuse issues or
Mhm.
families. But if you're just a single person
Yeah.
that's
that
on
isn't
disability
yeah.
and really can't
right.
afford
Yeah.
housing, you're stuck.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, and homelessness is bigger than just people that are literally living on the streets. I mean, there are
Yeah.
people that
Right.
are, just crashing at a friend's house or
Yes.
whatever. Like, I
Well,
mean,
exactly.
that's the language within our laws too, is that they consider those folks houseless, right,
Mhm.
and not
Yeah.
homeless, and so
Yeah.
then they can't get any help either
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
have an address per
Right.
se.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm finding it in Meigs County as well. There are some shelters in like Athens and different stuff, but
Mhm.
again, those are geared toward folks who have substance abuse or
Mhm.
alcohol addiction and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we as a society, instead of being angry about the person being on the street, we should be
Mhm.
angry about why they're on the street, and it's because the powers that be have not set up anything to
sure.
protect all of its citizens. And
And
yeah.
well, just think about how many people are literally living check to check.
Yeah.
You get laid off, you get
Yeah.
injured and can't work, whatever.
one check
Yeah.
away
It
from
would
being
not.
homeless.
It would not. Yeah, it would not take very much of a downswing in
Yeah.
your life to potentially end up in a situation like that without somebody to help you.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, that's our little soapbox. That's the last
Sam and
one.
Marsha, thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
joining
having
us.
us.
Yeah,
We're
thanks
going to
for having
send you
us.
guys
Appreciate
down the
it.
hall to Matt McKee. Get on with 96.7 a little bit.
Yeah,
And
thanks, guys.
thank you. And we're going to kick it over to Carl Blaylock at the Vinton County Fair, and then we will be right back with the Vinton County Fair royalty.
Carl Blaylock live from the Vinton County Fair here on Mix 96.7, and I'm here with Hunter. And Hunter, you've had a very successful fair week, haven't you?
Yeah.
What all have you won so far this year, or this year at the fair?
With my pigs, I got third in showmanship. I got reserve, champion breeding gilt, and first in my market class. With my lambs, I got grand and reserve market lamb, grand champion senior showmanship, ultimate senior showmanship, and grand champion breeding ewe.
That's a lot with sheep. How long have you been working with sheep through the fair?
This is my third year taking sheep.
Have you taken any other animals in the past?
Yeah, I've took cows and pigs, and I just want to try something new with lambs, and I really like it.
Yeah, and I mean it looks like it's been real successful for you. What are you expecting when it comes to the livestock sale on Friday?
I'm hoping just to show everyone that like the hard work that I do hopefully just pays off with.
And hopefully you get to show that. It's a really awesome thing. How many ribbons you end up with at the end of the week?
6 or 7.
That's a pretty solid week at the Vinton County Fair. Thanks for talking to us, Hunter. We got more music on the way, and we'll have more updates as well from the Vinton County Fair live on Mix 96.7.
All right, so let's take a look at that weather forecast while we're waiting on the Queen Court to make their way across the hall from being on the radio with Matt. So today, high of 95. 95, hottest day of the year, I think. But we do have that 30% chance of rain. We got some rain last night, and it made it a little bit more humid at first, but then it kind of cooled off and made for a pretty nice evening after being so sweaty during the day. About the same tomorrow, but with a higher chance of rain. We got a high of 94 with a 60% chance of rain. Got some thunderstorms maybe. And then on Sunday, thankfully, the heat's going to kind of move on and cool down a little bit. High of 85, partly cloudy. Then into Monday, starting off your work week again in the low to mid 80s. We're looking at 83 on Monday, 84 on Tuesday, 86 on Wednesday, and then starting to warm back up toward the end of the week when we see some more thunderstorms kind of entering the system. So we're still waiting on the Queens to make their way across the hall. But real quick, I'll just go over what is happening at your Vinton County Junior Fair today. Of course, it's Friday, July 28th. It's Klein Energy Day. From 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., all extra livestock animals need to be removed from the barns. From 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., we got laser tag. That's going to run from 10 to 2, and then they're going to take a little break and run from 4 to 9. And then from 11 to 7, we got the Flying Solo Show. That's on the midway. I'm still not sure what that is. They're going to have to ask the Queens what the Flying Solo Show is. And then at 10 a.m., we got the Dress Your Critter contest. and that's at the Wolf Show Arena. That sounds pretty fun. You're going to dress up your animals, I guess, put your sheep in a little like bonnet or something. Then at 12, we got the Cloverbud Games. That's at the Fern Kruger Building. Then the rides are going to open up at 4 p.m. or run till 11. Of course, that's on the Midway. Then at 5 o'clock, we got the livestock sale at the Wolf Show Arena. I believe that's going to be broadcast live on 97.7 Country of the Bull. So be listening to that. I think Matt McKee's going to be there bringing you that auction. Big Papa has appeared in the doorway, so I think the Queens are making their way in. If you guys want to come on in, and if the older girls want to grab a seat here, we got room for 3, and then we'll let you guys talk for a few minutes, and then we'll switch out, and then we'll bring the 2 younger girls over. All right. Hey, guys, welcome. We're just going over the want to scoot in a little bit so you can make sure everybody can see themselves on the monitor there. He's scooting in just a little bit. I want to get that whole hat in here. You're the only one that didn't get a crown. You got that sweet cowboy hat. Yeah. I'm jealous that I didn't bring my cowboy hat today. I didn't realize that this was going to be a thing. But I appreciate you guys coming in to chat with us this morning. And so I'm going to let you go down the line and introduce yourselves.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia Schroeder, and I'm your 2023 Vinton County Junior Fair first attendant.
I'm Madeline Kane, and I'm your 2023 Vinton County Junior Fair Queen.
My name is Jasper Champion, and I'm your 2023 Vinton County Junior Fair King.
All right, Madeline, maybe you want to move that microphone so it could just maybe lift it up just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. So the fair is kind of starting to wrap up today. So how's your week? We normally talk to you guys going into the fair, but this year we're coming out of the fair, so it's a little bit different. So let's get a different point of view from you guys. So how's your week been?
Hot.
Yeah. I was gonna say, definitely.
It's been hot.
That is not a surprise. It has been You want to throw that weather graphic back up? Did you guys see the weather today?
No.
95.
Oh my.
Yeah, I seen this is the hottest day of the week.
Yeah, I think this is the hottest day of the year.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Me and Jasper for cell tonight, I have to wear a formal gown, and he has to be in a suit for the whole entire cell. So we're gonna be sweating really.
That sounds
bad.
rough.
Really bad tonight.
That sounds rough. So, in addition to all of your did you introduce? Okay. All right. I thought we talked about the microphone. We got mixed up. So, in addition to your royalty duties, have you guys been showing animals this week?
I'm actually the only one on court that does not show animals.
Okay.
So I've been trying to go to as many shows as possible to watch everyone else show their animals.
Did you do any of the special projects?
Yeah, I do still projects. I did a self-determined project and a cat project.
A cat project.
Yes.
All right, we're going to need more information on the cat project.
Okay.
Did you teach the cats tricks?
No, basically
over?
you learn a whole bunch about that cat's anatomy and ways to treat diseases if they come down with them, and you're also working to learn your animal's behaviors and if they show signs of distress or if they're happy or angry or hungry and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, we had this conversation at the Jackson County Fair. Me and Jennifer both think that cats should be one of the animals that you show. You should have to parade your cat around in a circle, and then you pick it up and you flip it upside down like you do the chickens and stuff. I think that should be...
Well, we do have a dog show that is happening.
You do have a dog show?
Yeah, it's happening tomorrow at 12, but I don't think a cat show would work because I don't know any cat that likes to be on a leash.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think my cat would appreciate being paraded around.
You might... Well, you guys are probably right. But imagine how adorable it could be on the off chance that it went off without an issue.
Yeah.
It would definitely be cute.
Yeah. All right, so what animals did you show at the fair?
I show rabbits at the fair. So
Okay.
this is my 5th year showing
Fifth
rabbits.
year?
Yeah.
All right. How about you?
The chickens.
Chickens? So last year when we were out at the fair, we were going around, we were doing some interviews and stuff at the fair, and we were interviewing this little girl, and she was showing us her chicken. And we just talked about how you got to flip them upside down when you show them. Well, the chicken had a little accident when it got flipped upside down. So the interview, right in the middle of the interview with this little girl, she flipped that chicken.
Right in the face.
Just everywhere. It was rough.
That's why I don't show chickens.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to ask them to flip the chickens up anymore.
Yeah.
So aside from being royalty and showing your animals and doing your projects, what is your favorite part of the fair?
I definitely like watching a lot of the shows, like, because I've never taken any of the big animals. I took the chickens and rabbits years ago, but that was a long time ago, as I said. And I also love the Demolition Derby.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody loves the Demolition Derby.
I love fair food.
Yeah.
I think fair food, I don't know. I know it's bad for you, but I love it for myself.
Yeah.
So I've just been eating fair food all week. The French fries. There's a wrap truck there.
Ooh.
I stop there like every day and get myself a wrap.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What is the go-to fair food?
Taco in a bag.
Taco in a bag. Yeah, that's a good one. How about
French
you?
fries,
French
definitely.
French fries, 100%.
Yes.
Like, everything else is fine. But, like, if you don't have a good French fry booth at a fair festival, like, what are you even doing there?
I will say our food booth has amazing chicken and noodles to
Chicken
try.
and noodles.
Yes,
Okay.
the chicken and noodles.
Okay. All right. Right on. So, aside from the taco in the bag and the French fries and the chicken and the noodles, what's your favorite part of the fair?
I like helping out people, like walking around, helping anyone who needs help.
Yeah, helping the younger kids, kind of showing them, like doing for them what someone did for you when you were their age.
Which is a huge thing at our fair. Like, people are always there to help you out. So, like, this year the heat has been really bad, and there's been, like, so many, like, volunteers and fair board members and people in the barns just 24/7 to take care of these animals. So somebody's always there helping. So,
So
really good
what
thing.
do you do to keep the animals cool and happy when it is 95 degrees?
With chickens, you want to get a spray bottle and spray them with some cold water. Make sure, because if they're too hot, the comb will, it's the red thing on top of their head, will turn purple.
So this year the chickens and the rabbits are in the same barn, and they have like fans set up throughout the barn, so that's helpful. And then a lot of people with their rabbits, they'll like freeze water bottles and bring it in, and then the rabbits will just like lay on them. But there's not too much else you can do other than fans and, like you said, water bottles,
water.
some stuff like that. You just got to check their water like consistently throughout the day.
So what do you guys do to keep yourselves cool?
We've also had a lot of fans.
Yes.
We got mini
Going
fans.
like this a lot?
Yes.
We got
fan each
mini
other.
fans in our gift bags when we won on court. So we've been using them all week.
Yeah.
And then like I said, the fair board members have been like a big help. I was up at the horse show. Olivia was up there with me, and it's super hot. There's like barely any shade, but they came and like set us up a canopy and everything like that. They put coolers out next to us so we can be like hydrated throughout the shows, like when we're there for a long time.
Okay. Well, so we've been going over the schedule for the fair here on the show all week. And there's one thing that I've been seeing on the schedule about every day. I'm curious what it is. What is the Flying Solo show?
I do not know. I have not seen it at the fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the flying. He is the guy with the solo cups, with the trick shots.
Oh, okay. There's this guy, and he walks around, and he has like this hat, and it's got like 5 red solo cups on it, and he's got one like attached to his leg, and then what does he have, like a tennis racket?
A tennis racket with a solo cup like glued to it.
Yes, and like he lets you throw like balls at him,
Okay.
and he'll catch them.
So he's got the cup on his hat. And you throw like a ping pong ball? Or?
Well, he's got these huge ones too.
Okay.
That
It's
you,
like the
and
size
he
of
just
a baseball.
like catches it with his head.
Yeah, he catches it with his head, and then
He's juggled knives before, or
Yeah.
bouncing on a.
I've never
yesterday
seen
we were
that.
at a show, and one of the girls on our court, she broke her foot, so she's on
Oh,
crutches.
no.
And he came by, and our prince like was throwing the ball, like just messing around, and he was like, "Whose crutch is this? Can I see it?" And we said, "Yeah," and he actually balanced it on his face, and then started juggling.
Yeah.
So it was super impressive.
That is pretty impressive. One of the most impressed I have ever been with anybody ever. When I was about you guys' age, I was working in a restaurant, and we were cutting up the lettuce to make the salads. And I gave one of my coworkers 3 heads of lettuce and just said jokingly, like, "Here, juggle these." And she just started doing it.
She just did it.
And I was like, what? Like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. She's like, "I played a lot of softball growing up." Yeah. So, yeah, hey, juggling, that's a skill that you just break out and impress your friends. Yeah, very cool. All right, so one other thing that I saw on the schedule, and I don't see it today, but I know he was there earlier in the week. It was the guy doing the chainsaw sculptures.
Yeah.
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 There's
You guys check
few
that
of his
out?
like wooden things still there.
Yeah, he has them still on display. He's not doing anymore, but he's made like animals out of them. There's like 7 or 8 he made just in the few days that he was there. They're really cool looking.
That's really cool. Yeah. Do you remember what any of them were?
I think one was a bear, like a black bear. He like colored some of them.
Cool.
He did one with the Vinton County VC logo.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So what grade are you guys all in? Are you juniors and seniors?
I'll be a junior in
Be a
the
junior?
fall.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a senior.
Okay.
I'll be a junior.
All right. Well, you're going into your senior year. Have you kind of like, are you excited for that? Are you like anxious? Are you nervous? Are you just like, oh, I can't wait to get done with high school?
It's a mix of probably all the emotions. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited to like finally be out of school because this is just something where like your whole life you're like, oh my gosh, like can't wait for school to be over. But then it's like, oh my gosh, like school's over.
I have to
Like,
decide what I'm
like,
going to
yeah, real life is coming quick.
Yeah.
So
Have you thought about where you want to go to school or if you're going to?
I've looked at Ohio University a lot. I've looked at Moorhead. That's where my stepmom went to school. She really loved it.
Yeah.
So those are about the
Yeah,
ones
those
that I've
sound
been
like
looking at.
awesome choices.
My sister's going to OU.
Very
this
cool.
year.
Yeah, I never went to OU, but I did live in Athens for several years, and it was a really good experience being there. So it's definitely a great place to spend your early 20s, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure the education is great too. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. I know you're probably did you guys just begin your reign this year? Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a whole year of going to this stuff. So you what are you most like anticipating getting to go to as far as other fairs and festivals?
I'm really excited to meet all of the different girls on courts because I was on court back in 2016. I was the 3rd and 4th grade attendant for this exact same like fair court.
Okay.
And I always enjoyed meeting all the other girls because they are all so nice to me. Like there is not a single mean person on court that I met, I don't think. And I just want to give the same experience that my older girls on court gave to me as one of the younger girls.
Yeah, I agree with what Olivia said. And then I just really want to travel. Like, I want to see how other fairs, like, run their things and stuff like that. I think that would be, like, a really cool experience to see.
Awesome.
I want to show the fairs who don't have a king contest to do one.
Well, let's talk about that for a second because we've had a lot of royalty courts in here. You know, the county fairs, the Apple Festival, the Ohilco, all this stuff. And most of them, I mean, they maybe have a little boy, but not very many of them do a king. So, like, give us your pitch. Why should more young men be getting involved in stuff like this?
It's a great way to like come out of your shell more if you're like stuck inside, and it's a great way to make new friends as well.
Yeah, yeah, great. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us this morning. And we've got a couple younger queens over here waiting in the wings. So if you guys don't mind, give up your seats to these two lovely young ladies, and we'll let them come on over for a minute. You guys can just grab a seat. All right, guys, come on over. You want to, Dylan, can you grab the seat on the end here, and you guys just sit in these two chairs next to me. Dylan's going to pull that mic away. So you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name's Annika Snyder, and I'm your 2023 Vinton County Junior Fair 3rd and 4th grade attendant. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Haley Shipman, and I am your 2023 Vinton County Junior Fair 5th and 6th grade attendant.
Awesome. So how old are you guys?
I'm 12.
I'm 10.
And what grades will you guys be in next year?
I'm going into 5th grade.
I'm going to 6th.
All right. Very cool. 5th and 6th grade. Wow. You guys are growing up fast, I bet it feels like. 6th grade already. Probably just feels like yesterday you were in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you liking working with this crew over here? Are they hard on you guys? Are they sending you after snacks and stuff all the time?
No.
They're
really
nice
fun.
and they're helpful.
Yeah.
So
You guys feel like you're learning a lot from them?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys are juniors and seniors, you think you're going to go out for the big court?
Yeah, I think.
You think so, Mage? You're like, I don't know. Let's see. So how are you guys enjoying the fair so far?
I'm enjoying it, and it's pretty good. Like, if I had to say something about it, I would say you could go there, and it's pretty fun for anybody.
Yeah? How about you?
Yeah, I like the fair. It's really fun. My favorite part of the animals. So I'm kind of the barn brat.
Barn brat, yeah. So what animals did you show?
I show cattle and horses.
So cattle.
Yes.
Great big giant cows.
My steer was 1,400 this year.
1,400 pounds?
Yes.
And you weigh 12?
75.
All right. So how do you do that? How in the world does somebody your size lead that 1,400 pound steer around like that?
this year, my steer is very challenging. He tried to roll a couple of people.
How do you get out of the way? How do you get out of the way of that? Because
you don't. You kind of just push him away and hope you don't die.
Hope for the best.
So in the show you have a chain around their chin, so they normally respond a little better. But it's pretty much all about learning. Like at a young age, you'll drag your babies around, and they just kind of learn at a young age.
Well, you got to be pretty brave to get in there with something that's so much bigger than you that you really don't have that much control over. So that just comes from experience of doing it your whole life and working with smaller animals first and working your way up.
Actually, I got a pony when I was 2.
Yeah?
I've been riding for forever.
Wow.
My aunts had cows for forever. I've been around big animals. Big animals are kind of my jam. I've never really, small animals have never really been my thing.
All right. Very cool. How about you?
I showed rabbits on Wednesday.
Yeah?
So, yeah, you have to work with them and stuff so they can get used to. And you have to have one hand with their ears like this, and you have to flip them over, and you have to check their underside and their top side, and you have to show the tattoo number. You have to say it.
Okay. Very cool. So why rabbits? Is that just your favorite, or?
Well, this is my first year.
This is your first year? Okay.
Yeah, first year taking it, but it's my brothers took some, and they say it's easy, and it is because they're like almost the smallest animals. And they're easy to work with.
So you're taking like the smallest animal, and she's taking like the biggest animal. So like, you have a little bit of like envy, be like, oh man, I like my bunny, but man, look at that big steer. Do you like man, next year I'm gonna do something big next year, or are you like, nah, I'm sticking with the tiny bunny?
Yeah, we don't have space at our house, so like we can't put like a barn and stuff there, so.
Well, sounds like she's got plenty of space. Maybe you can
I live on a farm.
Maybe you can come borrow one of hers some practice with. All right. Well, aside from the animals, what's been your favorite thing at the fair? You've been riding the rides and stuff?
I haven't rode any rides yet. I like being in the barn, working with my horses and my cows, feeding them, mucking out their stalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to just help other people because yesterday, this guy said I would take those if they're for sale, but I said it's for my rabbits. But then after I put them in my rabbits, because they're frozen water bottles, I actually went to the cooler, got cold water, and handed it to him. He didn't take it, but I gave it to somebody else.
Yeah. Nice. So have you guys gone to any of like the thrill shows? Like, so tonight we got the tractor pull. Are you guys excited for the tractor pull?
I saw a little bit of like the motocross. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But I didn't really stay and watch.
Okay.
I went to the Showman, I think.
Yeah.
What about the demo derby? Are you guys going to enter that? You got your derby cars ready to go? She seems like she'd be brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
She's not scared of that cow. Why would she be scared of those demo derby drivers?
Yeah, we don't have anything like that at our house. Like, so, yeah.
All right. Well, we got fireworks tonight. Are you guys excited for the fireworks?
My ears are sensitive. I don't like fireworks.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so one more question for you guys, and this is an important one. What is your go-to snack at the fair?
French fries.
French fries.
Unanimous French fries.
Yeah, French fries. Because they're the easiest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so guys, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate all you guys taking your time this morning, and thank you for good luck wrapping up the fair tonight and tomorrow, and good luck with your reign for the rest of the year. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. That was the Vinton County Junior Fair Court. Dylan will help you guys out. And then here in a minute, we're going to be joined by Pete Wilson so we can get his feedback on what it feels like to be immortalized as a ceramic pig. So this will be a breaking news. Does Pete like being immortalized of a pig or not. Pete's also going to have results from a lot of the shows so far from the Vinton County Fair. We got like market rabbit showmanship winners. We got sheep showmanship winners. All these results are on the telegramnews.com. The horse show, we've got poultry showmanship, goat showmanship, swine showmanship, the General Project Awards. All this stuff is in the Telegram, and of course it will be in the Saturday print edition of the paper. Going to be loads of photos from the well, we already had the coverage of the Jackson County Fair. Of course, the Vinton County Fair is coming up soon. Another kind of programming note that we'll throw out there while we're waiting on Pete to come in is the Starbrick Music Festival officially kicks off today. That's at Hocking College in Nelsonville. You can get your tickets at the gate for that. So this is just like a huge 2-day festival tonight and tomorrow, featuring a bunch of classic rock tribute bands, including Skinny Molly, which is Skinny Molly is
Leonard Skinner,
Leonard Skinner tribute band. And then of course also Hairball, which is an everything tribute band. They do Kiss, they do Motley Crue, they do Guns N' Roses, they do Queen, all kinds of stuff. They're a little bit like when I saw Weird Al Yankovic at the Ohio State Fair, he did a costume change for every song, and I think that's kind of what these guys do. Just like painting their faces, new wigs for every song, just going all out. So that's the Starbrick Music Festival happening at Hocking College in Nelsonville this tonight and tomorrow. Pete Wilson just popped in the door and turned around and walked away. So I don't know if he forgot something or if I just offended him and he just stormed out. But the Colton Volunteer Fire Department was honored with the 4-H awards of the Jackson County Livestock Sale. Pete talked about that a little bit earlier in the week. The fair always does these kind of a special awards in between doing the auction. And of course, the Colton Volunteer Fire Department one of the people honored. You want to pull that chair around? All right, Pete Wilson. How you doing, Pete?
Oh, we're hustling today. So
yeah,
just like
yes,
you.
sir. Dylan, you want to get the door there? All right. So before we get into the news, Pete, we got an important question.
All right, sir.
How does it feel to be immortalized as a ceramic pig?
Okay. Well, I tell you what, it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I realize it happens to very few people. So for total media to decide that I should be symbolized representing the whole company in pig form, it takes my breath away.
Yeah. Dylan, you got that picture to throw up there again just so people know what we're talking about?
It'll take me just a second.
All right, well, don't worry about it. All right, Pete, I got to do my impression of Jennifer. What the heck's going on?
Okay.
There's Pig Wilson.
Oh, there it
Better
is.
late than never.
There's Pig Wilson. I was gonna say I've really worked hard the last 6 months or so to lose a few pounds. So in that case, this representation is not exactly perfect. I'm more svelte than that, but other than that, you've got my face pretty good.
Yeah. I will say, well, your reaction when you saw it for the first time was pretty hilarious. Like you were just like, I've been exercising, guys. I've lost a little bit of weight.
I know, exactly.
That was a good one. All right, Pete, what the heck is going on? I mean, we've been talking Vinton County Fair this morning, but obviously that's not the only thing going on. We had a little bit of excitement at Wendy's, and it wasn't the spicy chicken sandwich. I know that.
No, that's right. Well, let's go ahead and go to that because I know that got a lot of attention there when Jeremiah Shaver rushed to the scene. You know, you heard that the fire departments had turned out to a restaurant.
Yeah, this was the biggest breaking news since that guy bumped into the side of McDonald's last year.
Right, yeah, and it's on East Main Street, so a lot of people saw it. And there you can see one of the still photos that Jeremiah took that will be published in the Saturday edition of the Telegram as well. It was late in the afternoon, and how it turned out, James, was that Dave Channel, who is the Jackson fire chief, deduced that probably someone dropped a burning cigarette into the mulch in front of the store.
Yeah.
Of course, the mulch is dry and hot. The mulch caught fire, and then it caught the outside stucco wall on fire. Now, it never got into the building or anything like that. They did evacuate, of course. They did all that. I think that an employee or somebody else with a fire extinguisher was able to put it out before the firefighters arrived. But because of the fact that it was a major building, the Jackson Fire Department called through mutual aid because if it did get inside the building, it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
So it caused quite a stir of activity there. Several fire departments responded, but as it turned out, I think within an hour or less, the restaurant was back open for business.
So I mean, something that could have been a big deal, but was luckily avoided and was kind of a
right.
minor thing.
All these businesses, houses should have a fire extinguisher and like that.
Yeah,
and so
true.
I mean that's what it
And
took.
that's something that should be replaced every, couple years or whatever. If you've got a fire extinguisher that's 20 years old, you may want to think about replacing that one, even if it's never been used.
No, you need to do that for sure. Now, earlier in the week, speaking of the emergency activity, this caused quite a bit of attention too. This was back on Tuesday, but it happened after we were on the news the last time, so we'll tell our TV viewers about it. 2 semis in a crash. That never sounds good. It was out on U.S. Route 35, just west of Jackson, at the Sour Run Road intersection. It was not an intersection accident, but it just so happened that's where it was. But what happened, one semi rig ran into the back of another. And if you look at this picture, Jeremiah Shaver hustled out there to the scene. And as you can see one semi on the right. That was the one that was damaged the most. That was the one that was behind the other semi and crashed into the back. And you can see that cab is heavily damaged there. You can just see a portion of the other semi truck there on the left. Now, the initial report we got from the Highway Patrol, and we did a little bit of follow-up, was we were not able to determine, and nor was anybody at the patrol, that there was any injuries, which is a good thing and a little bit surprising considering the the extent of the damage there. But that was what you call an assured clear distance type wreck, where one semi was behind the other and it just hit the other one in the back as the one in front was slowing for whatever reason. I don't know whether it was about to turn or not, or the other one was just going a little faster and wasn't paying attention. But 2 out-of-state truck drivers, and the initial report that we had, never able to gain any further information one way or the other, but we believe that there was no injuries involved in that. However, 35 heavily traveled, and this was near the end of the afternoon on Tuesday. I'm not saying rush hour, but the traffic was heavy at that time. And if you were going westbound towards Chillicothe, you were going to be in line for a little bit while. One lane for a while, and then both lanes during a short cleanup period, about an hour, I think.
And then one of those drivers, Pete, you said they were out of town. One of them was from North Carolina and one was from Alabama.
Right. And so, 35 is a major thoroughfare, a cross-country thoroughfare. 35 goes all the way into West Virginia, and then, of course, cuts all the way through Ohio, southern Ohio, Indiana, into Indiana as well. And there's no interstate in southern Ohio, and 35 is probably as heavily traveled as any 4-lane highway we have.
Yeah.
All right, another thing that's happening, we'll get to some good news. This will be tomorrow at noon at the Margaret Ann Pool and Park in Oak Hill.
Red Thompson is really excited about
this.
this.
He is ready for this.
He is revved up and raring to play some pickleball.
Right. Well, he's got his pickleball uniform ready. We haven't shown that yet, but he is ready to go. But this ceremony, dedication ceremony, the village is working on it. Mayor Paul McNeil, Council President Jennifer Hughes, they want the public to attend because this is a celebratory thing. Nice recreational facility upgrade for Oak Hill there in their Margaret Ann Pool and Park. That dedication ceremony is going to be noon tomorrow. And what has happened there, many Oak Hill residents know there's been a tennis court that's been there for years. It has kind of not been in much use in recent years. What they decided to do, and this was the best thing possible, federal grant paid for all or most of it. It was part of that big neighborhood revitalization grant, $750,000 that the village got several years ago. Of course, the works taken place over the last couple years. But that tennis court there has been converted into a pickleball and basketball court. And pickleball, a lot of folks don't know what that is. I've never played it, but I've seen it. I know it's become tremendously popular here in Jackson.
Yeah.
And if folks are interested in playing that in Oak Hill, they've got a court now because it has been completed.
Yeah.
And of course, basketball is always going to be popular with the younger generation. So pickleball and basketball, I understand the courts are separate there. In Jackson at Hillcrest, they actually have it painted. So you've got basketball court and pickle court, 4 of them all together. And all they have to do is, decide who gets to play. Because you can't do both of them at the same time, but the lines are painted for both. It's set up that way. But in conjunction with this, James, this dedication ceremony at noon, not exactly sure what they're doing, but some sort of ribbon cutting, some remarks will be made. Very positive thing. They will also have a free pool day. This is in conjunction with not only the dedication ceremony, but the village likes to do a free pool day at some point in the summer anyway. And the Oak Hill Chamber of Commerce, Area Chamber of Commerce, considers this one of the sesquicentennial celebration activities.
Nailed it, Pete.
For July. So the free public swimming, by the way, will be from noon to 6 p.m., and that is being footed of the bill by the village council. Normally, there's a pretty cheap daily admission for kids, but it's going to be totally free that day. And another thing, waiting in the wings, not quite ready yet, but they're going to announce that it's coming, and you can see where it's going to be. There's going to be a dog park there.
Oh, that's nice.
At the Margaret Ann Pool Dog Park. You see people out walking their dogs up and down village city streets here in our local area. But this will be an opportunity to take the dog to the park, well off the street. And I believe that one of the things they're going to have, I was told, was that some of the fire hydrants that they've had to replace, they're going to put the old fire hydrants in the dog park, so the dogs will have fire hydrant facilities for however they choose to use it. I think we know how that is. Fire hydrants are favored facilities for dogs. So that's going to be on Saturday.
I got a story here, Pete. This is a little bit dated, but I just saw it now, and I this happens every year, and I just thought this was funny, and I'm going to throw it out. This was from an article that you posted on our website a while back with the schedule for the Jackson County Fair. Somebody commented on that today, asking, when is the Steve Miller Band playing? That they heard it on the radio. Well, sir, you are thinking of Jackson County, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Which is a common thing. They will announce some big show that's going to be at their fair. People Google Jackson County Fair, that comes up, and they think these things are happening in Jackson. I do apologize. The Steve Miller Band is not playing at the Jackson County Fair, which is already over.
Well, a lot of places in the Midwest were founded or settled or whatever in the early 1800s. And, of course, one of the famed men in history was General Andrew Jackson, who later became President Andrew Jackson. So you have Jacksons all over the place. We have Jackson, Ohio, Jackson County. There's a Jackson High School in Massillon that often gets confused with our Jackson High School here. And I believe that there are 11 cities in the country named Jackson.
Yeah, I bet there's more.
But Jacksonville, I'm not even talking about Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. But to answer Mark's question, when is the Steve Miller Band playing? That is at the Jackson County Fair in Michigan on Friday, August 11th.
Okay, well,
Gonna have to drive a little bit to go to it, though.
Right. Okay.
But tickets are available now on ticketcenter.com.
Okay. Another news story we want to tell you about, because we know we had limited time because we were so busy here on a TV agenda today, but this is a story that we do want to pass on to our TV audience. And this is a story out of Vinton County, a court story, Vinton County County Court, where there was a preliminary hearing for the male suspect who has been charged in the death of a 7-month-old baby boy. That death occurred on July 18th at a residence on Bray Hollow Road. Philip Johnson is facing initial charges of reckless homicide and child endangerment after the 7-month-old boy, emergency services were called to that residence on Bray Hollow Road. The baby had damages, injuries to its face and head and neck. And this is Johnson at the preliminary hearing. Our Associate Editor Phil Buffington covered this preliminary hearing, which is one of the initial proceedings after you've been charged with serious crimes. And as a result of the evidence, which was basically the testimony of a sheriff's office deputy, Mr. Johnson was bound over by County Judge Jeff Griffith to the Vinton County Common Pleas Court, which is the higher court that normally handles the felonies. And the sheriff's office deputy did say or gave enough evidence of what Johnson said happened. Johnson admitted to hitting the baby, but said he was trying to hit a dog that was on the baby to get the dog off the baby. Anyway, it was a serious injuries to, like I said, the face and head of the baby. They tried to do CPR at the scene. The baby was not able to be revived, and it was declared dead later at a hospital in Hocking County. Now, the baby's mother, who is reportedly the girlfriend of Philip Johnson, she was apparently there at the time. She has been charged with child endangering, not any more serious crime. Her preliminary hearing was Thursday, and her case has also been bound over to the Common Pleas Court. So we'll see what happens there. Certainly a horrible thing, and it's making its way through court now. But Mr. Johnson initially charged with reckless homicide and child endangering, and we're told by the prosecutor in Vinton County, Jim Payne, that more charges could come later. Those are just the initial charges to get the ball rolling.
Well, Pete, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us this morning. I know that was a little rushed.
Well,
we appreciate you making it work.
We will always defer to our friends at the Jackson County Health Department and royalty, of course.
And I see that you've got your denim on today, and that can only mean one thing.
Yeah, that's where the Pete Wilson dress code, I relax it a little bit.
That means Pete is headed to the fair.
Right.
If you see Pete wearing jeans, that means he's heading to the fair.
Vinton County Junior Fair livestock sale tonight. It is going to be a hot one, but hopefully we won't have any rain. Not expecting rain. 234 animals, I believe, is the initial information we had, will be on the selling block. Always a very positive event. We hope that those photos that we're going to be taking tonight and all the information we'll get for under them, saying, who the buyers are and the sellers are, we hope to have that in next Wednesday's paper. A lot of work to be done tonight and before then, but that's the plan.
And one more shout out before we get out of here. I know we've talked about this quite a bit on the show, but Homegrown Happy Hour host Ben Davis Jr. released his new song today officially, Winding Binding Road. Hear it on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. It's very cool. Check it out. And that's going to do it for the show today.
All right.
Pete,
well, very good.
Wrapping up our Jennifer-less week. She will be back on Monday, and I think Pete will be with us again on Monday too.
We hope to be here.
Talk about all the news that's fit to print from the weekend.
Right. There'll be a lot, of course, from the Vinton County Junior Fair, but other things as well. It always works out that way. Hey, we want to commend you for stepping into Jennifer's seat there and still doing everything else you do. I wasn't here every day, but we know you did a great job. And as always, Dylan's over there just getting better every day, learning something every day. We're glad he's on our team.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you back here on Main Street on Monday.